So if you're watching this video right now, you're probably thinking about pursuing a job at McDonald's. So I'm just going to be telling you guys my experiences and how things happened. Okay, so I've worked at 2 different McDonald's, and I transferred to another one. I didn't quit and then get rehired at another one. I transferred. So I started working at this McDonald's that was close to my house, and when I first started, everyone was so nice, and because my cousin worked there, and my cousin, my bun is so crooked. Okay, sorry, that's a lot better though. But my cousin, like I was saying, my cousin doesn't really tolerate a lot of disrespect towards her family members. And so basically while she was there, I was protected, if that made sense. Yeah, it kind of does, but I was under her protection while she was there. But then things started going downhill, and supervisors started getting involved more with the store that I was working at, and they would come and just judge people, oh, she's not doing her job correctly, oh, he's not doing the girl correctly, but this is how they taught us to do it, so how would you like us to do it? And then, well, first of all, let's just go ahead and start this off. My general manager is I hate him so much. He's just so rude. But I'm not even gonna lie, general managers get the bank though. They get the bank. But he's just so rude and envious of others. So that was one reason why I was thinking about transferring. And then my cousin, she quit. So basically I had no more protection except my friend that my cousin had left behind. We just gonna call her Real G. We gonna call her Real G, cause she's a real G. So it was just me and Real G. I was the only person. She was the only person I had talked to, and I was it was just me and her, cause I mean I'm nice, but I don't like to socialize a lot. Okay, so anyway, if I got into a problem, Real G would be down for me. She would be down like my cousin was for me. So when the time came, she was down for me for real. And what happened was, it was my first time doing french fries in lane 2 by myself, which is where you make the french fries and take orders on the second lane. And we got really busy, and it's a really big store, so we get a lot of customers at one time. And I couldn't make the fries fast enough to satisfy my manager or the customers, so we would always be waiting for fries. So the times, the time that we had, it's a time that you have to get things out in a specific time, I don't know, but I just I couldn't make them fast enough because it was my first time and I didn't really know what I was doing. So while I was taking orders, I couldn't really drop fries because if I moved away from the register and they said something, I would either forget it or I wouldn't hear them because all the commotion in the background. So yeah, and then after it had gotten down, my manager, she was you can go on break since you're not doing anyway. And I was okay. I just said okay, and I clocked out and went on break, and I went home. Well, I didn't go home, but I came back. But I'm gonna tell you how I came back, because I was savage. So I clocked out and I went home, and while I was gone, Real G had my back. She was you can't just talk to her like that. She doesn't disrespect anybody, so there's no reason you should be disrespecting her like that. So I wasn't here during this. I heard this from this other girl and Real G. So she was well, she shouldn't be so slow on doing fries. And I tell her to drop fries, she needs to drop fries. But you don't understand, I was taking orders while you were telling me to drop fries, and I'm mostly listening to the customer because right now you're irrelevant. But yeah, I was just trying to get the orders and make fries, but it was just too fast and too hard for me to do, like, at the same time. I'm not very good at multitasking, whatever. So basically, Real G and my manager, not the general manager, Real G and the manager almost got into a fight over me because she had said a curse word at me. So, and then, like, I came back from my break and I had, like, written my 2 weeks notice. I was like, here you go. And then she opened it and she was like, everybody's replaceable. Okay, try to replace someone as nice as me. I was the nicest person you had at the store. So that's when I started working the first shift, which is like the morning shifts. And I just basically just started working in the mornings more. And then the general manager decided that I don't need to work in the mornings anymore. So he started putting me back on second shift, which is like afternoon shift. And I wasn't having it. So I requested to transfer. And when I asked to transfer, this is exactly what I said. Y'all are too mean up here for me. I don't like y'all. So I ended up transferring to a store that was like a little bit further away from my house. Like, I live in between two McDonald's, like one right here and then one kind of like, one like down here. Like, say my house is like right here. There's one right here and there's one down here. So yeah, I transferred to that one. So everything was great at first. Like, I had gone to work over there. Like, my general manager would send me over there to help them out sometimes, and they were really nice, and they treated me like a queen. I swear they did. And then I transferred over there, right? And everything was great the first few days. I made a new friend. Like, I made a friend, and it wasn't the manager. And he was like way older than me. I think he's like 22. And I made a friend, and he was super nice, and like, he didn't care that I was like a little childish because he knew that I was like 16 at the time. So like, I asked him, why doesn't he like my McDonald's, like the one that I just came from? And he was like, because everybody who works there is children. And I was like, I was shook. So the time passed, and like, I started getting used to working here. I started knowing like how to do everything, and they still treated me like a princess. And then I was still like working in the mornings anyway. And then they would, so like, here's why I did what I did, because this happened a few days ago and I'm still a little hot about it. So like, it was all good at first, and then like, I started meeting this one manager and I was on her shift. So like, I got there at 7 in the morning, right? She tried to send me on break at 8, and I didn't get off until 3. And then like at 3, that's when second shift starts to come in. Like, the other shift of people, they start to come in, but like, they can't clock in until like actual 3 o'clock. And then like, it just like gets really busy. Like, we get slammed at 3. Because I don't even know why. It just happens. Like, every single time without fail, it happens. We got slammed, and like, okay, no, why am I talking about it like this? I stayed here until 3 o'clock. I didn't. Basically, she told me to go on break at 8 when I had just got there at 7, and I didn't get off till 3. So my friend, Real G, she transferred to this McDonald's before me though. My friend Real G came back there, and she was like, Nicole, blank blank manager said go on break. That's what we gonna call her, blank blank manager. Said go on break. And I was like, well, tell her I said no. And then she was like, Nicole, I don't know, you should go talk to her. Tell her to send somebody else on break. And I was like, okay, I will. So I was like, can't you just send somebody else on break, blank blank manager? And she was like, I am sending somebody else on break. A service and girl are different things. Okay. So I clocked out from my break, right? And I turned to Real G over here. I said, I'm not coming back. And I got my cotton candy and my keys, and I walked out. And while I was walking out, I was like, oh yeah, I ain't definitely coming back. Because it was a little dark outside, so I gotta wrap this up because I gotta go to Chick-fil-A and then I gotta go to school. So I got in the car, and as soon as I got in the car, I was like, oh yeah, no. For real, not coming back, for real this time. So I left, I went home, and I was so mad. Like, I was so upset. Like, I almost wanted to cry. So, like, I parked and I came in the house and I was like, Mom, I'm not going back. And she was like, why not? And I was like, 'cause I'm already on break. And my mom was like, already? And then I was like, yeah. I came in my room and I took all my clothes off, my McDonald's clothes off, and then I put on some night clothes, and I got into bed and I started Snapchatting real G. Now let me tell you, what I said to real G. Because I got the messages right here. Hold on, let me find. Okay. So, I text real G and I say, can you tell them to clock me out? I'm not coming back. And then she says, LOL, when they ask why, what do you want me to say? And I said this. 'Cause it don't make no sense that I'm the one who always has to go on breaks first when I get here. And I have to stand for another 7 hours without being able to sit because no leaning. That's a policy they have about, like, leaning. You can't lean on anything. Like, you can't sit down if you're on the clock, and you can't lean on anything if you're on the clock. So, and then when labor get high and they looking for somebody to send on break, they ain't got nobody because they sent them all when they got here, which is true. So, and then Real G said that they said, that's on you. You could have just went home early. And I was like, no, because every time it's my time to leave, it's always go stock the sauces, and I'm tired of it. And I'll always end up being there, like, past 3. Or not really, like, past 3, but, like, they'll be like, you can go home after you do these sauces. I don't want to go home after I do the sauces. I want to stay for my scheduled shifts so I can get the money I desire. And then Real G was like, you just quit, didn't you? And I was like, I'm just done letting people treat me however. Yes, I'm a nice person, but you're not going to walk all over me. And then Real G was like, I'm glad you're actually doing this. People treat you wrong because you're so nice to everyone. And I was like, thanks, Real G. I done took off my clothes and I'm in the bed now. And she was like, LOL, must be nice. Enjoy your day. And I was like, I hope you do too. And, yeah. So, and then my friend, just a guy friend, let's see, what should we call him? We gonna call him Sweater. My friend Sweater, because, I'm gonna call him Sweater because we had matching McDonald's sweaters. So, my friend Sweater, I looked at him, like, when I was leaving for break, and I was like, bye-bye. And I just left. And then a few days ago, like a few days after, maybe like one day after it happened, Sweater texted me and he was like, you never came back from your break on Sunday. And I was like, oh yeah, sorry fam. I was tired and I went home and I took a nap. So he was like, well, they said that you technically quit. And I was like, okay, well, they treated me like trash, so I guess, yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more things like this. I'm thinking about calling this series Story of My Life. Comment if you'd like, and I'll keep posting more videos as things happen to me. So yeah, oh yeah, I'm on my way to school right now. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Karma's no, let me stop. Alright, so I'll see you guys later.